Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing XV times Cage 2. It seems like a lot of code for what I mean, just looking at the rule says, we are in for an absolute treat, because there is somebody else doing puzzles that play, or look like at least based on the rules, the Colorado series from Florian Mortman. Now, to try and sort of reflect X's, V's, there is essentially Sleuth standing amongst, I don't know what I'm going to call this, a warehouse full of boxes that are labeled by numbers, and somehow he's got a bunch of dominoes in front of him with Roman numerals. You can't quite see them because they're behind the title between D's, L's, X's, V's, etc. Anyhow, if you've not seen the Colorado series, first off, go and play these. I'll make sure there's a link up here now for the playlist. Go check them out first before you take a look at today's puzzle. And let's take a look at what we have in store for today. So, XV Cage 2 by NurglesGift. And the rules are as follows. I think for many of you this is going to be very familiar territory. Normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, every 3x3 box. Here is what we love about the Colorado series. Cells connected by an X must sum up to 10. So if this cell here was a, if this cell here was a 2, this would have to be an 8, so that these two cells that are joined by an X must sum up to 10. Cells connected by a V must sum up to 5. So that 2 here would mean that this has to be a 3, so that these two cells add up to 5. All X's and V's are given. So that means I can't place a 2 in here because these two cells would add up to 5 and there is no V joining them. Similarly, I can't put a 7 in here because I don't have an X joining these two. So negative constraints absolutely applies, but seemingly just for X's and V's. So let's get rid of these numbers. Digits cannot repeat inside a cage, and digits in a cage must sum up to the value in the corner of the cage. So if this cell here is a 2, this would have to be a 7, so that these two cells add up to 9. These three cells add up to 16. This is a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle. I do recommend you explore the Colorado series before you give this one a go. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. Now, this is going to be familiar territory for some of you. What I first do is essentially color all of the V's. I can see that these two cells I'm going to say are blue, these two cells are green. And I know that they are a different set, and this one is green as well. And I know that they're a different set because essentially 2 ways of doing 5 or getting to 5 in 2 cells, 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. So if this is the 1, 4, well, elsewhere in the box that would have to be 2, 3, and these can't be 1 or 4, this would have to be 2 or 3. Another trick about, I may as well sort of cover this now quickly, about tens. The way to think about tens is that they're always made up with a low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a partner digit, 6, 7, 8, or 9. 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. So whenever you see an X, you know that these digits are high. So blues are lows from 1, 2, 3, 4, greens are 1, 2, 3, 4, reds are high from 6, 7, 8, 9. I can actually place a digit I just spotted. This is a 5. Can't put a 5 on an X because it would require a second 5 to get to 10. X, X, X. These are all not 5s. That's a 5. This is not a green 10. It's a kind of blue-red 10 because I've used the 2 greens. The blue cells, well, this can't be the remaining blue cell. That's the remaining blue cell, and this is a red. This is clearly a red again. This is blue-red. Now that I have at least a blue in column 3, these are clearly green. That's red. I've placed all the greens. That doesn't necessarily mean that's not green, by the way. So I could actually have red and green. Not sure. Kind of have to be careful with these things. Can I do any more without using more tricks? I think the answer to this is no. Right, next trick. I usually have, let me just see if I can bring up the numpad quickly. Can I? I have genuinely no idea where that numpad is right now. It's the kind of thing where I should have prepared in advance, so apologies for that. Why is this not showing up? Okay, hang on, let me, yeah, that's why it's not showing up. Yes, there we go. Right, and here's my attempts to kind of resize it and etc., which is not at all what I wanted to do. How am I going to move it around? Let me just have a look. No, that's not what I'm after. Sorry about this. No, not what I'm after either. It's got to be under... Right, it's got to be under here, crop. Right, so that's that. And this is that. Okay. Right, the reason I want to sort of show this to you is if I switch to letters, essentially what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and consistently apply a bit of logic here. So an A, I don't know what it is. I'm kind of making an assumption it's a 1 in that position, and therefore would only ever add up with a 4, which is a D. Now, a 1 would add up with a 9, which is in the I position. And the D would add up with, as in a 4, would add up with a 6, which is in the F position. Now, it almost doesn't matter what these are. As long as you're consistent in the application, you can make sure that you don't make any mistakes. C goes with G, etc. So hopefully this will make sense, and just think of it as a bit of algebra. There are substitutes that we're going to have to figure out later. So given this is an I, this is not an I. So this is DF. This is A. This has to be an H with the B. This has to be a G because it's the remaining letter that we haven't used. H can't be next to the B. The rest of this is, I'm going to say, well, this can't be 5. So this is, what is it? It's H or I. And therefore this is A or B. One of these is the 5. The only one that doesn't substitute is the 5. It's always there. These 3 cells, A, D. So we need C, E, and H. Okay. A and B. So these 2 cells are essentially the other, so if this is A and I, this will be B and H. This is definitely D and F. And this cell, so we know that this is the 5 and it's H or I, and it can't be an H. Bad implementation here, kind of H. These 2 can't be H. This is H, this is B. Therefore this is E and I. And this is a known digit. It is, so I've done A, B, C, D, E, F. I haven't done G. G can't be next to C because we don't have, so C and G are next to, should add up to 10, and therefore this can't be a C. This is A and I. A and F and D can't be next to one another, but we don't know much else. This B, I should go back to coloring actually, means that these V's are blue, and therefore this is an AD pair. This is not A, D, or B. This is CG. And therefore this can still be green, because that can be G, that could be C, so we don't know that for sure. A in here, oh, that's not a D, because we've got a D. That's F, that's D, that can't be A, that's I, that's A. Lovely. That's all red. These are blues. C, E, and H. No real restrictions here. Oh, C can't be these two. And therefore C is only in one cell, this cell. And the rest of this we have E, H, and I. Can't have an E next to a 10, we know that. H would go with B, I would go with A. Can't resolve just yet. What's interesting is so far, I haven't quite been able to color these V's. Clearly need to think about this a bit harder. So this is clearly DF. This is AC. This is, sorry, not A, BC. This is GH. So I've done F, H, and I. Therefore, from the high digits, I've only got G left. Is that correct? I think that's correct. Therefore, that's G, that's C, that's G. And this is blue. And therefore, hang on, I made a mistake. Definitely made a mistake. So the logic behind this H is solid. That's an H, and therefore that's a B, and therefore these are AD because it can't be BC. And then with the three low digits ABD done, this has to be CG. Yes. And then with F, H, and I all here, this has to be G. Because F, H, and I are gone. So that's G, that's B, that's C, that's G again. This is AE now. The trick is, it's breaking this cell. Like, seriously breaking this cell. Huh. I haven't... Sleuth, pay attention. Come on. This doesn't have to be a high digit. This could be an A. So this was A or G, and then G and C, and then A and I. And therefore, this can't be GC, this can't be a C. Wake up. Thank you. This is now EG. That's looking much better. This is red, and therefore this is green. This is BC, and therefore this is G. This is C. This is B. This is C. This is G. Sorry. This is B. Excuse me. G. Lovely. Sorry, I've probably lost some of you, but just more clumsiness. Really unnecessary clumsiness, I would say. Right. That's looking good. This has to be a blue-red combo now. And it can't be with an I, it's got to be with a D. That's not the D, that is the D, that is the F. And therefore that's not blue and that's not red. Somewhere in here, oh, that can't be B anymore with BC. So that's got to be A, that's got to be I. That is not an I. That is blue. That's all the low digits done. A in here gives me green there. In fact, green, green, green. Sudoku tells me this is green. This is BC. Right. We have in here EGH, I'm going to say. Let's just think about these. That is not an H. That is not a G. One of these is an H. Got a triplet in here, interestingly. One of the B's and C's is inside the 9. Essentially, this cell is not here. It's not any of these. It's got to be inside the 9. And it's not joined with a 5 because E, G, and H are gone. So we know it's not a 4. So it will be a high digit. And it's not G or I because they're here. And it's not H. So it's F. So this is F with B or C. This can't be a C, as you can see. Okay, and therefore this is a known digit. It's not B or C. I'm really confusing myself. Oh, yeah, it's D. Where is D left in row 1? And the reason I said it's not the one that's here, because this BC has to be somewhere in row 1. Right, I'm happy with that. That's D, that's F, that's D, that's F. These are not blues, this is not red. Making progress, slow but steady. I say slow and steady. To be fair, I've made a few mistakes. These are not H's. This is an EG pair. That's an H, which gives me an E, which gives me another H. Right. What I should do is a bit of Sudoku, such as A is in one of 2 cells in here. D is in one of 3. B and C are done. Let's maybe do B's and C's in particular. C is none of these cells. C is one of these 2. B is none of these cells, just Sudoku. Now, I can't have B in the same row as the C, otherwise I will have a problem. So that's the B. And essentially they're going to be at a diagonal to make sure they're not touching. A's, you can see, kind of need a bit more information to resolve this, but A is in here and D is in there. Interesting. D, here's a bit of logic, can't be any of these cells. That's D, that's A, and then I don't have a V between them. Same is true here, same problem. So D can only be in here, and therefore A can't be next to it. One of these 2 is an A. The A's are lining up, as you can see in rows 5 and 6. That can't be an A, that's an A. That's a D. One of B's and C's is here with another E, G, or I. Okay. Kind of same logic. This BC is not here, it's somewhere in there. Plus I need an A, which is not here, and not there. That's the only place for an A. That's another BC. And this cell surely is just known. It's not EG, it's I. These 2 cells are now known as well, so it's not A, B, C, D, E is F and H. F in here gives me F and H. So far, so good. In fact, all of these are red. These 2 cells are also known. I need a D, which is not here, and an E, which is my 5. Right, my 5, my reds. Nearly there. This is E again. These 3 are known. D can't be in here. Let's just pencil mark it all. So it's not A, B, C, it's D, E, F, G, H, or I. That's not D. Can't be an I either next to the A because that would add up to 10. So that's H. These are not H's. And D's and I's are not restricted as far as I could tell here. So we'll move on. These 3 are also known. A, B, C, D. No, kind of need to try and resolve some of these so that the pencil marks are, frankly, less ugly. So, B. No, I don't know that much about it. F. Also don't know that much about it. Just having a look around, see if there's anything that can help me resolve this. I, all fine. E and G, if this is G, that's G. That can't be C. That's B, that's C. has no impact on this. That's not C, that's C, that's not B, that's A, that's D, that's A. Lovely. That D has given me I and D. And this is E, H, or I. It's not an H. That's the only place for an H. This is E or I. Neither are a problem. That's not H. This is red. This is definitely green. Can't have another green next to it, so that's F. That's green, and therefore that's B. That's C, that's B, that's C. No impact, no impact, no impact. No impact, okay. Right, we can probably just finish a bunch of these. Let's just see if we can use pencil marks to at least get the rest of it here. So B is none of these cells. One of these is a B. If I can type. E is not here or there. E. I can't be next to the A. So it joins the ranks of E, and therefore this is B. I think I just made that way harder because that was already placed, but progress. Is E and I resolved? Nope. So A, B, C, D, E is done. This is F, G, H, I'm going to say. F, G, H, not F. This is G or H. Can't be a G next to a C. That's an H. That's a G. And obviously the H couldn't have been next to the B either, so that was another way of doing it. F and H, not a problem. E and I, not a problem. Do I have anything in the row to help me? Maybe. No, yes. That's F. That's H. E and I not resolved. EI pair gives me whatever this says. It's not an E. It's a G, which helps me resolve E, G, E, G. This is now known. It's F, another EI, and I can't be next to the A, so we actually get to, because usually with these types of puzzles, you can just about kind of letter the entire thing, but usually not really. You have to almost like get to the point where you have to use these letters to basically resolve them. Right, let's think about what's it telling us in here. I mean, so first off, let's just, I'd rather do the maths and just do a grand reveal at the end, so let's do that. Right, so we have a low digit and then two high digits, and the G and H we know add up to 15. I know that? Yes, because B and C add up to 5. This is their counterparts. B and H add up to 10, C and G add up to 10. So those 4 cells are 20, these are 5, this is 15, A is 1. D is 4, therefore F is 6. B has to be a 3 now with that 9 cage, C has to be a 2, I has to be a 9. B was going with H's, wasn't it? So that's got to be the 7. G's have to be an 8. And then E's are 5s as always. Phenomenal puzzle. NurglesGift. Wow. Kind of surprised. Yeah, puzzle doesn't include a solution. Okay. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that's the correct solution. That does add up to 16. That does add up to 9. And all the rules are obeyed. Lovely puzzle. I love this style of puzzle and approach. Hope that you guys enjoyed it, and see you for the next one. Bye-bye for now.